Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.
Welcome to St. Louis on the Air. I'm Sarah Fenske. If you've seen the Great Moscow Ballet's version of the Nutcracker, you know that children play a number of roles in the production. They're children at the party, they're mice, they're snowflakes and snow maidens. They're even dancing the Russian variation. And those children don't travel with the show. They're cast locally through the Great Moscow Ballet's Dance With Us program. In Bethesda one year, that meant Sasha Obama, daughter of Barack and Michelle, was a snowflake. And in St. Louis this year, that means some very talented St. Louis kids will be taking the stage at the Fabulous Fox with the professionals. Now, Yuriy Kuzo is a soloist with the Great Moscow Ballet. He's also the audition director for Dance With Us in St. Louis, and he's here to tell us about these local stars. Yuriy Kuzo, welcome to the show.
Hello.
So the Nutcracker was performed last night and again tonight. Just how many St. Louis kids are in the show?
Totally, we have 140 kids.
That is a lot of kids.
Yeah, for 2 shows.
Yeah, so half of them in one show, half in the other.
Yes.
Who's the oldest? Who's the youngest? What kind of range for those children?
The range is from 6 years old till 18.
So you've got 6-year-olds to deal with.
Yes.
That sounds almost like a
Snowflakes.
nightmare.
No, it's okay. I like that age.
I guess you'd have to like that age in order to
No, it's
want your
easy
job.
to work with them.
Yeah.
Because they catch very fast all information and they really want to learn something new.
Now, you personally helped to choose these kids. How does that process work?
It's always different because it depends how many kids do you have. So first we build them in lines and then show them the combinations, and after that we will give them chance. We are giving them chance to show them what they memorize.
Okay.
And we are looking for a good rhythm, feeling of the rhythm, the good, how they can perform if so. And how they can memorize the combinations.
So does it tend to be that you're picking the best dancers, or sometimes you're picking somebody who just has that certain presence?
Yes, I'm looking for a person who wants to dance. That's our goal, to teach them, to show them something new, something absolutely different experience that they will have a chance to have without us.
And they were chosen, I understand, I think back in the summer.
Yes.
How did they get ready for their role in this production before the rest of the dancers come to town?
So the audition directors, when we come, we cast them, and then we have around 3. It depends the day. It depends on the day of the week. So we have the most. We have 3 days to rehearse with them, and then after they are working with their teachers, local teachers, or from the local studio. They are doing all of
So the
this.
local teachers are given the choreography.
Yes, they not given. They are just rehearse with them. We give all of the. They tape us on the video. They write all of the counts, and they have just to follow all of that things. Just rehearse as much as they can.
And then when you come to town, then they join into this production for the dress
Yes,
rehearsals?
Yes, and we are waiting. The adult dancers, the Russian dancers, are dancing with them, and we rehearse with them to mark the positions where they have to stand, because without this, they will be confused.
Yeah. Now, our producer, Lara Hamden, talked to a 14-year-old ballet student. That's Hannah Silverman, who's part of the show. She plays the role of Clara, and she told us what it was like getting to work with your company.
I was really excited. It kind of seemed too good to be true.
And so what's been your experience like? So after you got it, you had to train, I'm assuming, even more for the role. So what was that like, working with those classically trained dancers?
It felt kind of crazy because they had been doing it for like so much longer than me, and on point, they made it look effortless when I know that it's not. It was really cool to see all the professional dancers and like how different it is when they're just warming up and like rehearsing versus when they're actually on stage performing.
What's that difference?
Well, when they're just kind of warming up, they look just almost like just normal people, like just dancers, But then when they're in costume, they're like part of the Nutcracker.
And that's Hannah Silverman, who plays Clara in this production. What made you cast her in this role?
I don't know. I just see it in her eyes.
Yeah, you could see in her eyes that she was right for this.
Yeah.
She talked a little bit about that intimidation factor. The dancers in your company are among the best in the world. And here you're getting these kids from local ballet schools, and suddenly they're dancing on stage with you guys. Is it hard to get them just not to be intimidated, to be frightened by how good you guys are?
We just do our job. That's all.
So Hannah Silverman told us a little bit about what it was like being a girl from Webster Groves and then suddenly finding herself working with professional dancers from Russia.
At first it was kind of like crazy because I've never really heard people speak Russian before now. So it was pretty cool just to hear another language so much, just even with counting and stuff, because, it's not like something you usually get to hear. He made it pretty easy. Sometimes he couldn't think of quite the right word to describe something, so people would try and help, which was kind of fun, But otherwise, I think he did help teach us at the beginning really well.
That's Hannah Silverman. Do you ever see with the youngest children that there's a language barrier or they just can't quite figure out what's going on?
I don't feel that they have a problem with that, and I don't have a problem with that too. But sometimes I forget something or I build the sentences incorrectly, not grammar way. So, and I always ask them, be my teachers. I teach you, you teach me. Help me to improve my English. But they understand very well. I can teach them without any voice, any sound. That's the thing.
You have this common language of ballet.
Not the common language, it's just the connection, the experience of teaching of kids. So I'm from the family that has all our generation, we are teachers. So it's like, I don't know, that's inside of me.
Yeah. Now, the Great Moscow Ballet also provides the costumes for those kids. And you have an amazing costume on now. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that and who you play in this production.
I'm the main father. I'm the father of Clara and Fritz. And actually all other parents are coming for the party to my house. So the first act, the people are very excited. They see this huge 50 feet tall Christmas tree, all of that, nesting dolls, all of that stuff that Drosselmeyer are bringing for the party. And I'm amazed as well because I never expected he will bring all of that show for us, for kids. So yeah, I'm the main father.
And yes, this costume is amazing. You have kind of a cross here.
Yeah,
you have a cravat.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be kind of hard to dance with, though. Is it? It moves with you?
No, it made from the light things, from the light material, so it doesn't like...
It's not as heavy as it looks.
It's easy for me to dance with this. And I don't have... I usually danced with much difficult costumes.
Okay.
In my theater in Ukraine, so it's like...
So you're used to having to work with that.
We had 7 dwarfs and Snow White, so I was the sneezy dwarf. So I have like this belly and a huge beard, and sometimes it's very hard to breathe. But it's okay, you have to dance. No one cares.
And for our listeners here, this is a very svelte dancer. He does not have a large belly. He also does not have a full beard. And so, yes, I imagine this took some acting to portray the sneezy dwarf.
Yes, acting part is the main in ballet. You see, if you will just do these crazy movements, people will say like, oh, it's boring. It's like a sports. But what makes it different, it's just the emotion that you send to the people, the message behind all of that movements. And if you cannot act pantomime, it will look like not completed.
Mm-hmm. They need to really believe in that portrayal.
Yes.
So we actually have a photo of Yuriy Kuzo, a soloist with the Great Moscow Ballet, in his outfit. And so you can look at that online at our website. That's stlpublicradio.org. Yuriy, you're in charge of the Dance With Us program at the Great Moscow Ballet. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And break a leg tonight. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association. Missouri produces wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details on the variety of products made in the state are at choosewood.com.